1979 when he was a student at Michigan State University. Worked for the Grand Rapids Press for 30 years as a columnist. He's got his own company, Greg Johnson Media Services, which he runs from his home in Hudsonville. His clients include the GAM, the Michigan PGA, the Gus Macker Basketball Tournament, the Justin Bieber Parenting and Discipline School. This week he'll be, it's a tough client, isn't it? He'll be running the press room at the 34th Michigan Open Championship, Greggy, they known as Grand Rapids.
I got started getting called Grand Rapids at the Buick Open one year. It was Peter Jacobson decided to, and I was actually waiting for Danny Pohl to get done with a round, and he had played badly that day, so he said a few words to me and then busted off. You know, I got to see my parents. Okay. And so then I'm standing there, and Peter Jacobson looks at me, and he's kind of giving me a hard time. Hey, Grand Rapids, you're getting blown off. And I'd known Peter for quite a while. In fact, I'd witnessed by some accident two of his hole-in-ones, and while he's playing in a tournament. And anyway, so he decides to turn around and tell the crowd that I'm from Grand Rapids, and he does a whole spiel on Grand Rapids. And let's just say the last line was where the men are men and the sheep know it. And it was really hard to kind of live down in front of 300 or 400 people. So, but that's where they started calling me Grand Rapids, and then it just kind of stuck with 18 years of the senior tour in Grand Rapids. That just became my name, and they don't know my real name, but they know I'm from Grand Rapids. So wake up, Grand Rapids. I see the guys back there. Okay, we got quite a few Grand Rapids guys here. Tom's a Grand Rapids guy, so obviously my job always as a Grand Rapids guy was to cover the state tournaments. I covered 30-some Michigan amateurs and 30-some Michigan Opens and a whole bunch of tournament of champions, because we'd go up to Boyne and we got to play golf in the morning, so that was really nice. But I always had to write about the low Grand Rapids guy, and that was the only way I thought was fair. You have to wait on the low Grand Rapids guy, and that's who you write about that day. And sometimes it'd be the same guy 4 days in a row, and sometimes that'd be Tom. And in fact, quite often that would be Tom. So I wrote a lot about Tom, and Tom's not the greatest quote. He's just not that, he won't get any slow pay penalties for his speech tonight. He'll go quick. He plays quick, he talks quick, and sometimes you had to go make stuff up, which I can do. Anyway, I've seen him play a lot of golf, let's put it that way. I've seen him hit a lot of shots. We never thought, we have this local legend in Grand Rapids named Bobby Secocious, and no one ever thought anybody would win as many times as Bobby won. But somehow Tom has passed him, and he's putting him in the rearview mirror, and he keeps winning, and that's just incredible. And so on a local level, we're just amazed by him, and we wondered why he wasn't in the Hall of Fame, probably a year ago or 2 years ago. But he wasn't 45 yet, so he turned 45, and we got him in. He's won the Michigan Amateur, he's won the Michigan Open, 5 mid-AMs. I'm not going to go through his whole resume because it's really kind of boring, and it'll be at the end of my story. Last year, maybe the best round I've ever seen him play, first round of the Michigan Open at the Orchards, and it's raining sideways, and it's ugly, and it's cold, and he shoots a 64, and he doesn't miss a green. I mean, I don't even know how you do that. I was beyond amazement. I've watched, Tiger Woods play 18 holes, and watched a whole lot of people play 18 holes, and I hadn't quite seen that kind of performance from anybody, let alone an amateur, and playing in a state open, and doing something historic. And I kind of knew that day, we're going to have to put him in the Hall of Fame if he wins this thing, and here we go. Anyway, he likes bad weather, by the way, so I always know on a bad day, there's a pretty good chance he's going to be the low Grand Rapids guy. For some reason, he plays really good in the mud. You can't talk about Tom, let's talk about Leslie, that's his wife, and Leslie's, if there's a Hall of Fame for golf wives, she's got to be in it too, because she's always there. She's amazing. I've seen her, she has a lot of these physical ailments and stuff once in a while. And I swear to God, she's out there, she looks like a catcher that wandered away from a game, because she's got so many braces and stuff on. But she's out there, and she walks every hole. Now sometimes she can't hide her emotions at all, like Tom can. You can't tell how Tom's doing by looking at his face or watching his body language, none of that. But you can tell in a minute if you just find Leslie. And she might be his caddy that day, or it might be like in the 2009 Michigan Amateur when she was his caddy for a while, and then she wasn't. And I kind of asked her why, and she said, well, I quit. And she was mad at him. He was being negative, and she didn't want him to be negative. And I guess now she's wearing earbuds so she doesn't hear anything negative. But that's Leslie. And anyway, they're a good pair. And there's something to her point that he didn't really start winning tournaments until he married her. So I think he's got to keep her around. Anyway, it's really my pleasure to introduce Tom. I was always writing about the low Grand Rapids guy. It's great to be up here and introduce a Grand Rapids guy, and it's my pleasure. Your newest Hall of Fame member, and no two strokes for slow play, Tom Werkmeister.
And now for the entertainment portion, me trying to public speak. Thank you, Greg. When I was asked who I would want to introduce me, my choice couldn't have been more obvious. I chose Greg, because outside of my family, he knows my game better than anyone. Greg has been there for almost all my major wins. He may be behind a camera or a notepad, but he's always there. Leslie once told me that whenever we traveled to a tournament, seeing Greg made her feel like we had a connection to home. It's so true. He's that familiar face who always has something encouraging to say, except probably tonight to Leslie, I guess. But he's been a great supporter, and I'm honored to be accepting my invitation to do my introduction speech, have him accept my invitation. Thanks again, Greg. Your support over the years is much appreciated. Thanks, sir. I would like to start out by saying congratulations to the other inductees, Becky, Paul, and Barton. Your contributions to the game, to the golf, are truly worthy of this recognition. What an honor it is to share this occasion with some of the most accomplished people in the game who happen also to be natives of Michigan. My family and friends who came here today, I invited you because it's you who should be recognized. Without every single one of you, I would not be here receiving this incredible honor. Please be assured that I don't have any misconceptions of having done this on my own, and I am truly aware and incredibly thankful for all your involvement in my success. There's no doubt that my skill is a gift from God. I never took a lesson. My dad taught me the game. He was always there, guiding me through the game's strategies and forming the player I am today. My mom was and is a constant source of love and support, always making sure I was rooted in a loving family life. Funny part is, she can't watch me play though. She gets too nervous. To this day, she gets so stressed out to watch. It's unbearable. My brothers and sisters were my built-in cheerleaders, and even now cheer me on via Facebook as the miles keep us apart. Thank you, Dad, Mom, Michael, Danny, and Colleen. Love you very much.
Love you too.
Family is very important to me. I was blessed with an instant family when I married Leslie. Her two children, Caitlin and Dean, who are here today, have been so patient and understanding of the time I have had to invest in this game and how consequently it took me, and a lot of times Leslie, away from spending time with them. They were also very understanding when I'd come home in a less than good mood after a tough loss. Sometimes with a warning from Leslie to stay away from him for a while. And generally excited and proud when I came home victorious. I don't think I could love them anymore had they been born my own. Caitlin, Dean, thanks for your support. I love you so much. I love you too, Ryan.
Love you too, Ryan.
I moved to Grand Rapids in 1988. The love of competition and well-organized tournaments held around the city helped shape my game and taught me how to win. In 2001, I finally won a major tournament, the city championship, and it seemed like I was on my way to my goals of winning at higher levels. Leslie likes to take credit saying I started winning because I married her. I can't let her actually think that, but I guess I have to admit it someday. I will, however, admit that her family has been pivotal in my success. They opened their homes to let us stay when we were traveling to tournaments in the greater Detroit area, when staying at my dad's place was too much of a drive. This also was a major factor in my 2 major Michigan titles. We stayed at her brother's house when I won the Michigan Am. We stayed at her sister-in-law's house when I won the Michigan Open. Being comfortable and able to relax between rounds is a huge advantage over someone who has stayed in unfamiliar surroundings. Thanks, Mike and Jan, and Don and Ken. Through the years, I've met so many friends who've become my family now. Most of our closest friends, the Stevens, Telsrose, Brooker, Chip, Colin, Scott, Steve, we met during our years at the Highlands and have always been there for me. Some of my newer friends, Schoenborn, Z, Billy, Kathy, Harbins, we've met through a new club home, Sunnybrook. All of you have been an amazing support group, and some have even taken on the thankless job of caddying when Leslie couldn't or wouldn't. I especially want to thank Craig Smith, our general manager at Watermark Group, who own and manage the 3 clubs of which Sunnybrook is part of, for all his help and support. He has also been a huge supporter of the West Michigan Golf Association, a group that Leslie and I are board members of. His efforts to make Grand Rapids a premier golf venue are truly appreciated. Thanks for everything you do, Craig. Quickly, I want to say about my game and my strength has been putting. I owe a lot of my recent success to my friend and putting coach, Mike Bogart, back there. Mike, I can't thank you enough for your patience and friendship over the years. I can honestly say that my game wouldn't have held up without your help. And that's so true. As I mentioned, Leslie and I are on the board of the West Michigan Golf Association. Some of the members are here with me today, Colin, Mike, and Rick. This incredible group of people has worked hard to make sure that the rich tradition of tournament golf in West Michigan continues. However, one man has continuously pushed this organization forward over the years. Please join me in applauding our current president, Al DeMontis, for his many years of heading up this organization, and for his dedication to make sure that these tournaments are well organized and offer a level of competition unmatched anywhere in the state. Al. I'd also like to thank Kevin Helm of the Michigan PGA. Kevin has always been the friendly face of the PGA organization for me for the last 10 years or so. He always takes a moment to say hi at the Open and anywhere else we run into each other, and even goes out of his way to be kind to Leslie as well. It was very special for me to have him present the trophy when I won the Open last year. Thank you, Kevin. Lastly, I'd like to recognize the Golf Association of Michigan. This outstanding group of individuals who work so hard to grow the game and put on such a well-run tournaments have always been kind, supportive, and genuinely interested in the golfers that they work with. Each and every one of them, from David Graham to Ken Hartman to Tanya Branch, take the time to welcome players and really get to know them. They've always been so kind to Leslie and I when we see them at the tournaments, that it makes us feel at home, even when we're far away from home. Thank you to all to the voting members of the Hall of Fame Committee for this incredible honor. I'm humbled and proud to be part of an elite group of golfers who've made their mark playing this game that I love and sometimes hate. And I am eternally grateful. Thanks.